There's a lot to discuss and unpack here. Joining me now to do just that is Stephen Miller, former White House senior advisor to President Trump, and K.T. McFarland, former Deputy National Secretary, Security Advisor, I should say, for the Trump administration and author of the book Revolution. So thank you both very much. Obviously, a great deal going on here when we're dealing with the world scene, but it matters to every single American because our loved ones are in the military. We know that things that happen far away affect us immediately and can here at home. Stephen, let me start with you. You heard the monologue. What is your take on the crises, now multiple, that continue to unfold worldwide?
This is an extremely dangerous crisis moment for America because the whole world knows what we all know here in the United States, which is that Joe Biden is not mentally or physically fit to be president, that nobody has any confidence whatsoever in the vice president, and that the Speaker of the House, the third in line, is a lame duck. So you have a country without leadership. Now, that doesn't mean there's no policy. You have radical leftists and Marxists and communists throughout the government setting policy. But those who have decision-making authority in this government are not capable of executing their jobs. That invites bad, malicious actors all around the world to go on the march. And that is what we are tragically seeing right now.
Now, both of you, of course, have been in the room. You've seen the conversations. You've dealt with all kinds of people around the world. You know how a president with resolve and strength and vision deals with these monsters, and they are monsters around the world. KT, what's your take on, even as Biden and Putin talk, it almost seems like it makes things more dangerous for them to get confirmation that this guy doesn't know what he's doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a central tenet of foreign policy that if your adversary is weak at home, that's your time to move. That's when you want to exploit the situation. So where are we today? Well, we have high inflation, high unemployment, a stagnant economy, a president who can't get his agenda passed, who's in clear cognitive decline, and as you point out, a vice president who's even worse. And at the same time, we see a Russia who seems to be ascendant. And while the United States gave up energy independence, that was the single biggest strategic mistake of the Biden administration, gave it up. And so what does he do at the same time? Allows Russia to have the whip hand over all of Europe.
Right.
Russia currently gives 35% of the energy to Germany. With the Nord Stream 2, they'll give a far higher percentage. Do you really think Germany is going to step up and in the middle of the winter risk having a lot of cold Germans to support Ukraine? Not at all.
Also, and Stephen, I mean, we're also, as a result, helping to fund Russia because the main income framework there is their oil, right? It's that. And Germany sees an America and a Joe Biden that abandoned Afghanistan, abandoned allies, as though they're going to rely on him if they, in fact, say, they're going to cut the pipeline. Everyone, you saw it with Taiwan, started talking about, well, we now have to figure out how to do this alone. Is this a world that is going to make those kinds of decisions, Stephen, as a world alone, that America, in fact, is considered gone?
Well, you see a world in chaos. I mean, just a short time after Biden was inaugurated, you saw the Middle East in flames. You saw attacks on Israel because dangerous, violent, unstable parts of the world seize an opportunity with the weakness we see in our country right now. Do a simple thought experiment. If you gave China, Russia, and other global adversaries, challengers, and competitors all around the world the chance to hobble and cripple America, what would they do differently than Joe Biden? They would do the exact same thing. They would inflate the dollar. They would make us energy reliant on foreign countries. They would open up our borders. They would let crime plague our cities. They would pay our people not to work. And they would have a supply chain crisis so we couldn't supply our country. He is literally putting in place the policies our adversaries and enemies would wish upon us.
KT, I'm going to give you the last word here. This is a remarkable time. Americans, we know, in whole, do not like what's happening. What do you imagine the next year being like with all of this unfolding? What do you predict?
We're at the most dangerous time we've been in 50 years. I was in the Reagan administration and saw him turn the world around, turn the United States around and the world around. What I'm very concerned with is that Russia is going to make a move against Ukraine this winter, and the United States will issue strong statements, but nothing will happen. And it'll be a 1-2 punch that China will come next with Taiwan.
And then you've got NATO, the stability or the lack thereof of NATO after something like this, obviously China and Taiwan. And on this anniversary of Pearl Harbor Day, it's a reminder about what other countries are capable of doing when you're not looking. Thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
Now,
hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.